This morning, officials in Ukraine putting extra security measures in place. They fear Russia will amp up attacks to mark the one-year anniversary tomorrow. Joining us now to speak about the state of the war, retired U.S. Air Force General Philip Breedlove. He's the former NATO Supreme Allied Commander, also Distinguished Chair for the Middle East Institute. Good to have you on, sir.
Good to be back.
So we're a year in tomorrow to the formal invasion of the East. There had been some hope in recent months that perhaps Vladimir Putin would see the writing on the wall here, maybe sue for peace. Not a lot of hope, but some hope, but clearly not, given his comments lately and devotion of further resources and forces there. Do you see any end in sight to this war?
Well, not right now. Clearly, Mr. Putin also has his back against the wall. He can't come out of this war with less land than he entered. And while the fight is not existential to Russia, it may be existential to him. On the other side, President Zelensky is enjoying strong, incredibly strong and growing support among his people to take back all of Ukrainian land. So right now, we are truly at a loggerhead.
General, there's so much concern and fear that President Putin is going to use tomorrow, use this one-year anniversary to launch some sort of new offensive, do something big and symbolic in Ukraine. Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, most will tell you, I believe now, that this offensive has already begun. It's not going in the way Mr. Putin would want it to go. So I think the offensive is already on, but will he try something flashy? That's not beyond him. The Russians are very keen to sort of celebrate anniversaries. And so I think that Ukraine is standing ready in case that does happen.
Does Russia have the capability to attempt to bleed Ukraine, to keep at this here in this war of attrition? And does Ukraine, in your view, have the capability to stand up to that?
Well, Mr. Putin intends to give us the message that he will stay, and I'll use your words, not my words, bleed Ukraine, because he knows he has the autocratic, or as I say, kleptocratic power to make those kinds of decisions. And he's counting on the leadership of the West to grow tired and to weaken. And so I think that's his every intention. Ukraine, if we give them what they need, they beat Russia every time on the battlefield. 2 strategic defeats in the north and on a verge of an operational level defeat in the south. So Ukraine stands ready as long as the West will give them what they need.
Well, General Philip Breedlove, it's good to have you on. Certainly a conversation we'll keep up in the coming days and weeks as we monitor the war there. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you, General. Well, CNN is also getting a firsthand look inside that battered town in southeastern Ukraine. CNN's Alex Marquardt filed this report for us.
This fight for Vuhledar right now is one of the most important and difficult in the country. While the fight for Bakhmut is largely symbolic, this is a very strategic fight for both sides. Vuhledar is unique in that it sits at the intersection of the 2 main active fronts in Ukraine, the southern and the eastern front. That is why Russia wants to try to push through here to launch an offensive into Donbass. It is believed that this is one of their shaping operations, the beginning of a larger offensive to come in the next few weeks. But they are struggling very badly right now. They've lost a huge amount of men and armored vehicles as they try to cross open fields, including minefields, where the Ukrainians have been able to inflict a huge amount of damage on their troops. At the same time, the Russians are absolutely pummeling this town. You can see all around me, these are Soviet-era apartment blocks, now largely empty. The residents have fled, and almost every single one destroyed in varying degrees. All of the windows have been blown out, craters here in the ground where children used to play. Ukrainians have the benefit of the higher ground here and these buildings to use in the fighting. But as with so many of the battles here in eastern Ukraine, it is a fight of attrition. Who can hold out the longest? The Ukrainian side saying they need more ammunition to be able to keep the Russians at bay, to keep them from advancing. Alex Marquardt, CNN, Vuhledar in eastern Ukraine.